Hello and welcome to today. Today is the first week in February and the word for the month is tender. And I wanted to just look at this whole process of the creating an art journal. Let me just... Okay, so hi and welcome. Welcome to today. Today is the first week of February, and we would be making a... I say would be making a new journal. So the word for the month is tender. And as we were ending January and going into February, I thought to myself, you put a lot of pressure on yourself to create this new journal every month and get it filled, and it's taken away, or it could be in danger of taking away, the joy of creating in a journal. And there may be some of you who, you know, are on it, and, you know, you can still go ahead and create a new journal. This month, the word is tender. And so if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling, oh my gosh, I don't have time to watch videos, oh my gosh, I don't even have time to work in a page, I think you have to take a step back. And I think as creatives, we have to recognize that, you know, this isn't, if this was the only thing that you were doing, then you could say, yeah, you know, I'll make a journal every month. And you can still do that. I mean, as I say, I'm doing it all the time. But for this whole process and project, the art journal experience, it is about creating an experience that you yourself will enjoy, and you are dipping in and taking out elements that you think you would like to try. I find it really, what I sometimes find with courses is that, you know, it's all packed in, and then every week there's a new... I mean, I've been on them myself, you know, and I've been one of the teachers, and even as a teacher I'm not able to keep up. You want to kind of do everybody's lesson and just experience it and play along, but sometimes it's just really difficult because life, work, other things. And so what I wanted to do is take a step back. Now, what we're going to be doing is working in the art journal that we made for January, because I don't know about you, but I've still got pages that are empty, and I would like to continue working in it, because the word for January was free, and that made me feel that, you know, it is about stepping out ahead of the things that you want to do, taking the time and working it the way that you want to work. So that said, you might have seen some of the last videos I did for last month, and they'll probably trail on into this month, because it's just like, you know, I've made videos for you, but I just haven't even that had the time to post them. And it's just like, oh my gosh, I've got this to do, oh my gosh, this has got to be posted. Anyway, there's no rhyme or excuse, and I'm just looking out at little birds decided to sit outside my window, so it must be a sign. Free and tender. And so, yeah, what I thought I would do is continue working. I've prepped some of the pages with figures just done in charcoal, and so... What? Okay. So all I'm going to do is work on those particular images and work with different supplies, different tools. I've got some, it's greaseproof paper I used on a different project for doing some batik type work. And so I'm looking forward to using those in the book as well. And again, just getting supplies that I've said, oh, these are my favourite, I'm only going to use them for a special project, and I haven't. And they've got thick. I've got one sitting in front of me here. These are Jacquard Neo Opaque. I don't know whether you've heard of them. I haven't used them. And Look how thick they are. So I'm going to rescue some art supplies and work with them and see how I go with them. I've got these ones as well. So in the page that you're going to see today, the word is wonder, and I'm going to be using some of these supplies in the journal. Okay. Oh, and here's the greaseproof paper that I did. You know, it's got wax on it, so I'm interested to see how that, if you paint on it, what effect you would get. I've got loads of them because I just kind of, and you can see the sewing machine behind me where I've started sewing the projects, and I'm really quite excited in seeing them complete. Anyway, so we're going to get on, and I look forward to hearing your comments, hearing how you've got on, hearing what you've enjoyed most about working in your journal, the aha moments, the insights, the revelations, because there's going to be a lot of those as we go through. And, you know, be kind and be gentle to yourself. This word, the word for the month is tender. And yeah, I hope you enjoy, and I hope that you find room to be tender to yourself as a priority. Okay, so let's get on. Remember, the word for today is wonder. The word for the month is tender. Okay, as it says on the front, make art. So I'm going to be working on this one today, and all I've done, I realised I'd created more pages than the days in the month, and I've done a few of them. I've done a few pages, and I haven't worried about which is up, which is, like, this is the front. And so all I've recently done is I've gone through and I have drawn just a figure with a water-soluble graphite pen, water-soluble graphite. This, I love it. A friend gifted this to me and years ago, and I use it, and it's never ending. I'm sure it will after a time, but you know, a little goes a long way. So all I'm going to do today is go through, so this is another exercise that would be for me. I would go through and just activate the water soluble graphite that I've added in this book, and if after I've done that one of the images wants to be worked on a bit further, then I will. Sometimes what I do is I'll activate it and then I'll start adding the gesso. So I've got my gesso in a little container here, and yeah, I'm just going to get started. So I'll probably keep the chatting to a minimum because you know what it is I'm going to be doing, and this is just really a way in which I find to think about things. I've got a lot of things on my mind at the moment, so this, just being able to do this, and it's almost like, you know, doing another layer to the piece of work. The page might not end up looking like this, but it doesn't matter. So it's just you making marks, or me making marks on the paper. So as I say, that's one of the things that you can do. You can, one of the activities could be like I did before. I just went through and made marks. Okay, so I might speed this up because I'm sure you don't want to, it's like watching paint dry, you don't want to see me activating all of these. But when I come to a piece, one of the ones that I want to kind of work on further, then I'll slow it down a bit and just talk about that one. Okay, so I decided to do this one, and initially all I was going to do was add some gesso to the page, but what I remembered was if this is wet and I then fold it, then the paper will come up, so I might as well just work on this one. So all I'm doing is again just again playing and not being too prescriptive. Do that there. So I've got Inktense pencils, but because this is wet, they are not going to come up very well, so I'm doing it on the palette. Wherever I put gesso or paint that's dried, it allows me to rub the pencil on and you get some of it off, and I can activate it with water quite easily. So just doing that, and I'll get on. Okay, so here we go. Here's the page. It says planted. There's a scripture which talks about being planted, like a tree planted by the river, that, you know, you're always, the growth, because you've got this constant supply. And I'll probably come in and do some journaling on here, or maybe on her shirt. But it's as easy as that. to kind of find something and then just run with it. And I like the way that the papers that I used here almost look, you know, like they're trees on the other side. And you can still see some of the pattern underneath. I haven't kind of tried to obliterate all of the collage paper underneath, but I've kind of kept that, and that's interesting. And then when you add writing on top of that, it also adds that something, especially when you use it as a, like I'm going to be using it, writing in it, coming back and writing something around this being planted by the river. So hope you've enjoyed that, and look forward to doing some more pages. And I'll just, I've still got a few pages to do. I didn't go around these ones, but we'll do that another time. Okay, so take care for now.